So this is day 2 of us working at Guyhirn Primary School, and this programme is called Junior Naturalist. So the idea is that we come in for one day and we've taught the children about different environmental issues. They include energy waste, littering and recycling, reuse and upcycling, food waste and energy waste as well. So on day 1 we did some quizzes with a quiz system and remotes, and they did lots of learning, and at the end of that day they picked the environmental issue they want to focus on. So each group is focusing on one of those environmental issues, and they're now designing posters, creating badges and presentations about those issues. And we've invited parents in later on for an Imaginarium, which is a creative space where people can come together and talk about environmental issues.
So yeah, environmental education is important globally, nationally, regionally. It's becoming an increasingly important issue because of the effects of climate change across the world, and nobody is immune to it. We see it in our day-to-day lives as well as on the news. We just locally in Finland, we see the broad extremes of climate change, where one year we'll have extreme temperatures, another year we'll have extreme flooding, and years like this year where we've had extreme droughts, which affect us as humans, or the nature and wildlife around us. Environmental education specifically is important because there's a lot of fear and misinformation about climate change and the environment. And environmental education, particularly at young ages, at a primary school age, helps to prime our future generations, giving them the tools for dealing with the issues that they're going to be facing because of decisions that were made by generations before them. And I think anyone educated in Finland and anybody in the education sector in Finland will know why education is so important here. The indices of multiple deprivation has just been updated for 2025, and in that, Finland was ranked number 1, the most deprived place in the country for education attainment. And in that same data, we see other interesting points around how we're number 76 for health. And some, as an anomaly, we're one of the best in the country, least deprived, for our living environment. But if you look at other reports, we are also one of the worst places in the country for access to the outdoors and access to nature. So although we have this, we have clean air and we have this wonderful natural environment around us, although albeit most of it's farmland, we can't access any of it. And there's so much information out there linking access to nature, access to outdoors, and deprivation. The most deprived areas have the least access to outdoor and nature, but yet those who are able to access the outdoor space and access nature have better outcomes in terms of health equality. I think if we're going to improve Finland and in its deprivation, it is intrinsically connected to our awareness of our local environment.
What is the most important environmental issue to you?
Food waste.
Littering.
Probably littering.
Have you changed any of your environmental behaviours since our sessions? And if you have, what are they?
I've been cleaning out bean tins and putting them in the recycling bin.
Very, very nice. Anything else?
Turn off the lights.
Yes, I've been putting rubbish from on the floor into the bins.
Litter picking, very cool.
So I was like litter picking. I was not littering at all. I was trying to use less energy.
And that is ultimately why I think environmental education is so important to young people. I could go on even further, just ignoring the fact that we've got this emerging industry for environmental work. which is only going to be increasing over time, and sparking that interest and passion for the environment at a young age could potentially unlock the opportunities for them to go down career paths that are going to be emerging in clean energy, for instance, or green agriculture. So there's so many opportunities out there if schools were to kind of grasp the moment and put a good emphasis on environmental education.
What positive environmental message do you want to share with other people?
To make sure that you are using the correct bin, turn off lights when they're not needed.
Make sure you keep on putting rubbish in the right bins.
Stop littering, stop harming the planet.
We need to not think of ourselves as custodians of the environment or overseers of the environment or commodifying the environment. We need to recognize that we are part of the environment, we are animals, and the better the environment does, the better we do.